Welcome to episode 32 of Sports Talk with BT and Stuvie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um, if my power goes out, we are supposed to have live severe thunderstorms, so Stuvie might have to carry out this live stream if my
Oh
power goes out
God.
tonight. um, I promise I'll try to get us back on as fast as possible. Okay, so we have a busy jam-packed episode because we missed last week because Stuvie had the two finals or whatever.
Yep, we came in clutch. Finished with all A's this semester.
Wow, good job.
Yeah, you proud of me, BT?
Like you said, it's easy to get degrees either way.
Yeah, but 3.9 looks a whole lot better than 3.3. So
Okay, buddy. All right. So I guess I'll start out with the Texans because that is my favorite team, and that will be first. So we drafted our first pick,
Mari Lassiter, huh?
Mari Lassiter. I like that pick. Really,
He's an
really
athletic corner.
athletic.
Georgia.
He didn't run very fast.
Yeah, he's very athletic though.
He's physical.
Like lengthy.
He's a physical corner, I'd say, and I think that was a need that we needed. So I think that's a good pick. Blake Fisher. This was a little bit of a surprise to me. I don't remember who was all on the board at that point. It's not as fresh on my mind, but I think he's a really good if we're planning on moving Titus Howard over to go back to guard
or if you want to replace Titus Howard. Titus Howard has not been the player you drafted him.
Yeah.
So,
and then Kane Bullock, I really like that selection. We needed a safety, so we once again.
He's kind of a steal too.
Yeah, he was a steal. And then our tight end possibly of the future, Cade Stover, will get reconnected with CJ Stroud. I think this is an excellent pick. He's a really good blocker, and he caught about 60% of his contested catches in college, which, I mean, for a tight end, that's really good, especially playing in the Big Ten. And then Jamal Hill, I like him. He's an athlete. I mean, most of these last picks, because this is all 6th and 7th from this point on, we were reaching on the better athlete. And speaking of really, really good athletes, Jawar Jordan from Louisville, fast little running back. I think if that's who I'm thinking of, right? Oh, not who. Yes, 5'10", 193.
I'm pretty sure this was his first year playing running back too.
Yeah, he is
he's new to that position.
Yeah, really good returner, so he could be a potential kick returner, punt returner. Yeah. Next season, Solomon Byrd, at USC, and then late 7th round pick. So
yeah, it's just like you guys didn't really have a sexy draft. You just drafted good depth and potential boom players.
And that's what you have when you have majority 6th and 7th round picks.
Yeah, I mean you drafted the best player available, or the high upside players.
Okay, the Cardinals.
They had one of the better drafts in my opinion.
Okay, I like the Marvin Harrison pick, obviously.
Yep.
I don't like the Darius.
I do. Pick. I like it. He's worth the first round pick.
But you pass on him instead of taking Johnny Newton.
Johnny Newton had some issues. I'm pretty sure that's why he fell so much.
We don't know that officially.
Darius Robinson, is a high upside player. He was very good at Missouri. And I definitely think he should have gone first. And with the Cardinals, they need a little bit of everything. So it's they must have really liked him.
I like the Max Melton pick.
Max Melton's a really good pickup. He was one of the higher corners on my list.
Trey Benson is the best running back in the class.
Yep.
It's a really weak running back class.
Yep. I think he'll be back up, but I honestly think he can get ahead of James Conner.
Jaden Davis, 7th round pick, former Oklahoma Sooner. I remember he used to play for Oklahoma.
What is that? Tio Rodman?
Riemann? Yeah, Tip Riemann, tight end.
Riemann, yep. He's a good blocking tight end. You'll have him blocking tight end. You'll have Trey McBride, the receiving tight end. They just had a good draft. That Texas Tech one, what's his name? I can't.
Dadrian Taylor Demerson.
I really like
if I remember him.
I really like that. He led the nation in interceptions. He's a ball hawk. So I'm a big fan of that pick personally. I think the Cardinals had a really, really good draft, in my opinion.
Okay, and let's just move right
to
it.
The worst fucking team, dude.
They selected Michael Penix, number 8 in their first round pick. Awful pick. I don't know what you were thinking. I
This
really don't.
is one of the worst draft picks in recent memory. So, first of all, you signed Kirk Cousins, right?
Yeah.
To a 4-year, 170, $180 million deal.
And
Okay.
it's like 100 million guaranteed.
100 million guaranteed. And you you draft a 24-year-old quarterback with injury history, and you could have got him in the second or third round, and you got him with the 8th pick. Like, bruh,
You could have traded down and got
he
him.
wasn't even the best quarterback available.
Eh,
Like, I'm not a big fan of JJ McCarthy, but who would you rather have? McCarthy with his upside, or Penix, who's
I mean,
injury
Penix
prone?
has a high upside though.
I don't know, dude. By the time Kirk Cousins is done on his deal, Penix will be like 28, 29.
That's if Cousins I'm hearing a lot of reports out of camp that Penix is looking really good.
Yeah, but Kirk Cousins, like, the Falcons screwed themselves. Like,
Yeah, they did.
because Kirk Cousins he's not gonna want to like get out of that contract.
And then
Falcons are gonna have to pay him to leave or whatever. It's
let's
just
move
very
up to
stupid.
their second round.
Falcons are the worst drafting team by far in this draft.
You trade
Absolute
up.
horrible
You,
picks.
you trade up to the third pick in the second round to draft a defensive tackle that you could have got
Luke
where you would have been able to get him at your previous selection.
Yeah, it's just their first 2 picks were god awful, horrible. This one of the worst drafts I've seen for a team in the last 15 years. This draft was absolutely horrible. I like the Braylon Trice pickup though. I'm a big Braylon Trice fan. I think he could have gone in the second round.
And we'll just go from the third round really because we don't know any.
Unless there's any notable one. But yeah,
Yeah.
well, just horrible draft picks. I predicted this right in my mock draft. BT and I we made our own mocks, and Nate Wiggins 30 was one of the mocks I got correct. I told you too that they were going to go Nate Wiggins, didn't I?
Yep. And then they selected Roger Rosengarten.
Yeah,
I like
which
that pick.
he had some first round potential
Yes.
too.
And then
They
Adisa
had
Isaac.
this team. They had an A draft, A plus
Yes,
draft.
Adisa Isaac steal for late third round.
Yeah,
I think he could have been late second,
mhm.
early third, and then
Devontae Walker was
a
really
good wide receiver.
Yep, out of North
And
Carolina.
then you want to talk about the next pick?
Dude, honestly, like, this was a humongous steal, and I'm not saying this because I'm an Iowa State fan, and it pained me that he went to Baltimore. It absolutely pained me, but the reason why he fell, I guess, is because, and don't click the other team. There's a couple of more draft picks I want to talk about with the Ravens. But he was really good at Iowa State. No one threw the ball his way, and if they did, they either got picked off or they were batted out of bounds. It was, I guess, like, the reason why he fell was because of his speed for one, and then like his scheme fit. I guess he's like a scheme player, which skill is skill, you know. And I think he'll fit in perfectly with this Ravens defense. I'm happy he got drafted. I'm just not happy he got drafted to the Ravens. Also, their next pick, Rasheem Ali, he was really good at Marshall.
Marshall.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was really good at Marshall. I like that pick. And then I also like their 6th round pick in Devin Leary. He'll be a really good backup for Lamar. And he's a player that can actually like run through the offense. And, he has a really good arm. And yeah, I just really like that pick. The Ravens had one of my favorite drafts of this year, and it makes me, nervous as a Steelers fan that they got all these good players in such a good draft.
Okay, on the Buffalo,
Keon Coleman.
I don't understand trading down, especially with your biggest rival that you've had in the last 5 years, and letting them have the fastest receiver.
I've seen him at camp, and Buddy's been dropping easy ass balls. So
that's fair.
But I mean, I don't get it either, but
out of all the people,
Keon Coleman, in my opinion, is better than Xavier Worthy and Xavier Legette.
Yeah, I think
Keon Coleman is high upside. He was really good at Florida State. I really like this pick. He was one of my top receivers in the class.
And then they selected Cole Bishop with the 28th pick out of Utah. I don't know much about him. I'm gonna be
I don't
honest.
know much about him.
I know
Ray
Dwayne
Davis.
Carter's a really good
Yeah,
potential steal for defensive tackle for them.
okay. Ray Davis, he'll provide good depth. Cedric Van Granger is a really good
Cedric
center.
Van Prawn Granger.
Granger, he's really good. He was a steal in my opinion. He could start, this year.
Yeah.
They had an all right draft class. I mean, I think their two best players they drafted were Keon Coleman and SVPG.
SVP. What is called SVP?
Yeah, I really liked those two players.
Okay.
Panthers, interesting.
Okay. I understand why if you think Legette's your guy, I understand why you trade up to the 32nd. You get that 5th-year option on him.
Yeah.
So that I think if they really thought he was a guy, he's going to be really good. I understand trading up. I'm not going to complain.
I also think it's because he said that the Panthers, man, they're going to draft me, and they didn't want to risk it, knowing that the Bills needed a receiver.
I think it was a little bit of a reach for Jonathan Brooks. I will say you could have got him 3rd round.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to have the upside. He was healthy. He's probably one of the better backs in this class.
Jatavion Sanders fell. As we predicted, he did not do very good on the bench press, not very strong.
Yep.
So he fell here, drafted by Carolina, and really they didn't have a lot of draft picks. So
not really a lot of noticeable picks, but they had an all right draft class.
Big draft team right here. Wait, well, I'm gonna skip them. Caleb Williams.
Yep.
That was number 1, like we predicted.
I think they had an A+ draft too. I'll be honest.
And then Robert Dunze, they got. I didn't think they would take a wide receiver. They proved me wrong.
I did. I mocked him here.
I think, I don't remember who I mocked, but then they got a steal in the 3rd round. Kieran.
Yeah, very developmental player.
Kieran. I don't know how to say.
Kieran Amagaji, BT.
There you go. Stu, got the pronunciation. And then the steal of the draft.
Tory Taylor.
Tory Taylor, even though Caleb Williams said you're not going to be punting
I honestly like
much.
their 5th round pick that they traded back into the draft for. Austin Booker is a steal in the 5th round.
Yeah, are we just gonna
he was shitting on the Packers' 1st round pick, BT.
Yeah. Well, that's just
Austin Booker. I like him. An amazing draft for the Bears, and they're a team to look out for in that NFC North. It's gonna be a very competitive NFC North for years to come.
Okay, the Cincinnati Bengals go with a tackle for their 1st pick.
Yeah, they had a pretty good draft. Amarius Mims.
Chris Jenkins, a really good selection. Jermaine Burton, a really good wide receiver.
My problem with Amarius Mims, though, is that he's only started a handful of games, BT. 8 total games in this time.
Yeah, but do you see his measurables?
I did, and that's why, he got
you see what their 2 offensive tackles measurables are.
His upside is very good, BT.
Both their offensive tackles are built like that.
Yeah, and he has really good potential. They drafted Chris Jenkins in the 2nd, son of former NFL player Chris Jenkins. Chris Jenkins is pretty good. Yeah.
And then Jermaine Burton's potential steal.
Mm-hmm. And Jermaine Burton was really good.
And then tight end out of Iowa. I mean they have a history of producing tight ends, so maybe they got a steal in the 4th round out of Iowa.
Yeah, you never know, but I don't know. I mean, besides their first 3 or 4 picks, the Bengals really didn't do too much. But I mean, if Amarius Mims plays like he's capable of and turns into what you think he can become, he's gonna be really good. He'll be one of the better tackles in the league for years to come. So yeah.
Okay. On to Cleveland. Not a lot of selections for them here.
They're keeping Michael Hall in state. He's a good pick. He was a good defensive tackle at Ohio State. Big run disruptor. And there's just not really much. Miles Harden from South Dakota. He's a really good athlete. He is a very high upside player. Yeah, very good. But they didn't have much to draft. I mean, their first pick was 54. Yeah, 54. So I mean, they picked Michael Hall Jr., who's like I said, a very good run disruptor and a very good downhill type player. Um, and then yeah, Miles Harden is really good. So yeah, um, Dallas. You know, they had an interesting draft. Um, Tyler Guyton, shout out BT's Oklahoma Sooners. They drafted a really good tackle. He hadn't missed a hasn't he only allowed like 2 sacks, 2 or 4 sacks all of his career,
Yes,
right?
he's really
BT.
good. He is
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. He only allowed 2 or 4 sacks in his entire career. Um, Very good aggressive player.
Then
Marshawn Kincaid, is that his name?
Nealon.
Nealon. Marshawn Nealon was another really good pick that, he could have gone in the first round, but um in my opinion, they got to steal with him falling that far.
And
Um,
then Cooper Beebe got a really good offensive lineman.
yeah, I'm really happy with their first 3 draft picks. What else did they get,
I
BT?
don't know much about all these other people.
They got the dude from Southeast Missouri State. Is that it for their draft right
Yeah,
there?
really.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of their first 3 picks. I think they hit on all 3 of their first 3 picks. BT, what do you think?
I think they did too. But let's move to. I think you reached on. I understand the panic. I understand it. I don't
I
think.
okay, I agree that you reached, but like they kind of had to. You know what I mean?
Yes, they had to at that
If they
point.
wouldn't have drafted him, the Raiders definitely would have drafted him. And so, um, I like Bo Nix better than I like Penix. I'm gonna say it right now. Um, if you can get Oregon Bo Nix, you're gonna be set. They got
And
Jonah
then
Ellis,
yeah,
who who has a brother in the NFL and who comes from a very football based family. He's really good edge from Utah.
where have you
They
heard
got
that
Troy
before?
Franklin, who's a steal.
Yeah, steal for a 4th round pick. I thought he was selected way earlier, possibly in the 1st round. I thought he was
Yeah,
going to be picked.
100%. Audric
Yeah, that's a really good
Estienne.
running back
Yeah,
from
he
from
just
Notre
fell because of
Dame,
his speed.
and then the rest are
But yeah, I mean
just another guy.
they did about as good as I thought they could. I mean, if Penix doesn't go in the first round like he did and McCarthy doesn't, I think the draft is a very different for this team. But you just got to
Okay.
play with the cards you're dealt. You know what I mean, BT?
Yep. And then for the Detroit Lions trade up to get
I
Terrion Arnold.
really like their draft pick.
Yes,
BT.
I like how they traded up because they knew the Packers wanted it,
Yep.
and they traded up right before the Packers pick. I know
Yeah,
Packers
for one of
fans
the
are
best
sick.
corners in the draft. And Terron Arnold,
Yes,
who's a very lockdown corner who had a really good season at Alabama.
and then they draft
Ennis
another good
Rakestraw,
corner, and they got a guy from
honestly, could have gone first too as well.
they got a guy
They
from
got their
Canada.
DBs pretty much set.
Yeah, if they can pan out.
And then they just drafted depth later on.
Yeah,
But
Makai
I'm a big
Wingo could potentially be a steal from LSU.
Makai Wing. I saw a mock draft from like last year. I think he was on Bengals. He mocked Makai Wingo as a 1st round pick. So if you can get Makai Wingo like he wasn't like his freshman sophomore year, it's gonna be a humongous steal in my opinion. So
Okay. Packers select Jordan Morgan. I think you reached.
yeah,
There was better offensive tackles on the board at that point.
yeah.
Then
Not a
Edgerrin
big fan of
Cooper,
it.
really good
Adrian
pick.
Cooper, I like him.
Javon Bullard, really good pick. Marshawn Lloyd.
I honestly think that their second, like both their seconds, are better than their first.
Yeah. And then
Uh,
Tyron Hopper from Missouri.
yeah, I mean, like their 2nd round picks, their 3rd round pick, both of their thirds like were really good. Even their 7th round pick, Kalen King, he had
Yeah, I
he
like
had an
Kalen King.
atrocious year at Penn State, and he fell because of that. But if you can get the player that he was, his sophomore year with Joey Porter Jr., then that's another steal they'll have. But yeah, I think the Packers just reached, but I like the rest of their draft.
Speaking of really good drafts, the Indianapolis Colts.
Another A of a draft in my opinion.
They draft Liatu Latu in the 15th. You get an A.D. Mitchell who fell.
Yeah,
We kind of predicted this before. He could have fallen.
yeah, because of effort given.
off the field issues, we'll just call it.
Yeah.
And I like their picks at offensive line here from Tenor Bordolini from Wisconsin and Matt Goncal. I don't know how to say
Also
it.
drafted an Oklahoma tackle, BT.
Yes, they did. Defensive tackle, Jonah Lovu. But he's really raw as a prospect, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he'll make it even on the team. And okay. Jags, you got your wide receiver, Brian Thomas Jr. I didn't know. Both of us didn't think they were going to select a wide receiver, right?
I mean, it makes sense though.
It does make sense, but it just completely.
It was a weird pick, but like it makes sense for the Jags. It gives Trevor Lawrence another weapon, a top 5 receiver in the draft class. I like him. He's really good. He was really good at LSU. I like their second round pick in Mason Smith.
Yes.
He was really good at LSU as well. Big LSU team. Drafted 3 fucking players from LSU this year. Wow.
And they got a really good place kicker, Kim Little from Arkansas. He was a really good kicker.
Or Kansas. Yeah, I just really like their first 2 picks. Jaron Jones is really good too as well. From Florida State, he was on kind of in that good Florida State team this past year. But yeah.
Okay, back to the Chiefs. Of course, we said they selected Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
Right now, not looking like a good pick.
So for those of you who don't know, he's been dropping balls. He's been dropping easy ass balls. And
kind of like what he did at Texas.
Yeah. And I get why you drafted him, the speed. Maybe you can turn him into a Tyreek Hill type player. But I understand why you drafted him, and it's an okay draft pick. You'll just have to see if he can, work on his.
Stewie sees the vision. He's the next John Ross.
Yeah, except they didn't draft him with the fucking 10th overall pick.
Kingsley Suamataia.
He is cousins of like 3 fucking offensive linemen in the league. He's like cousins of Penei Sewell and someone else. So I really like this pick for him.
I like Jared Wiley.
Dude, Jared Wiley's a stud.
He is. And then Jaden Hicks, they had a really good draft, I'd say.
Yeah, I honestly think Jared Wiley could turn into the next, not comparing him to, I am comparing, but he's very Travis Kelce type-esque. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Was that it for the Chiefs? Go back real quick.
Yeah, really. It was
just want to see if
I
know any of these other guys. I don't think so. Nope.
Okay, for the Chargers, they select Joe Alt. And that was surprising for us. So I thought they were going neighbors.
Yeah. But
Joe Alt is probably going to be a Hall of Famer. His aura gives off Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he was really good, and he is probably going to be. I could see him being one of the better offensive tackles in the league in a couple of years.
And then Ladd McConkey.
I like that pick as well.
Fitz Harbaugh's scheme.
Yep.
And then speaking of
Junior Colson, we called this. We called it, didn't we, BT?
But we did call it a little, not 3rd round.
Second round, but he fell.
Yes, and then Brendan Rice.
Brendan Rice was a steal, and it's kind of like a sad story. His best friend we played at Colorado with passed away like a week or 2 before the draft. And so he was on the way to his friend's funeral when he got the call. But I'm surprised he fell that late, BT.
Yeah.
He was, projected 4th round pick.
I'm not trying to be mean, but it might mean people might be afraid to draft him because of his name.
Well, I get that. But, you look at his, tape. He's, good fundamentally. He's a good route runner. I think he could be a very, very good steal. And he's in a good position to play. You know what I mean? He's going into one of the worst or the weakest wide receiver rooms in the league. So
yes,
yeah.
Okay, so the Rams select Jared.
I didn't see him picking Verse, dude.
I didn't either, but Verse did fall. I don't think we ever predicted Verse falling that far.
I think
Fisk,
yeah.
His teammate.
Yep. Well, Fisk is another. You're great. Getting that.
And then Blake Corum, I don't know. I don't know about that pick.
Yeah, it is.
We already have good running backs. And then Cam Kitchens, I talked about him earlier.
Cam Kitchens is so good.
He is good.
He can be a steal. Tyler Davis, a healthy Tyler Davis is really good. This could be potentially a steal.
And then I think Bo Limmer is a name to watch from Arkansas.
Bo Limmer, you a big fan of him?
Yeah, for him a little bit. I've watched of Arkansas. He looked really
But yeah,
good.
I mean, I think the Rams, got a good draft. I mean, First and Fisk are going to be the future of your defensive line. So this pick kind of.
Brock, I don't like Brock Powers' pick here. I don't. You already have. You don't need. You have Michael Mayer. He's a really good tight end.
The thing I'm going to say about this is, I could see him playing like a bit like a Kyle Pitts, where he goes out maybe to the slot and plays receiver.
Yeah,
but like
I think you had other pressing needs.
I think it was just the fact that like right before their pick, the Broncos took.
But they knew Broncos were probably going to take next.
Yeah, it's just like
I think
Brock Bowers is
you
a
either,
top
you
5
either
player in this draft.
I know.
Healthy.
You either trade down there or you draft one of the good corners that was there.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, maybe you put Brock Bowers out on the slot, right? Like I was saying, he's an amazing player.
We're talking about JPJ. JPJ, we talked about him. We thought he could have been a potential first-round pick in earlier mock drafts.
Yep, of course.
The Raiders get him.
It's kind of a weird year or a weird draft for the centers, though. You know what I mean?
Yes, like, Tommy Eichenberg, 5th-round pick. I really like that pick for them.
He's all right. He just needs to work on getting downfield faster and going vertically.
I really don't know much.
Cameron Richardson is a really good corner. He's really fast.
Yes, sure.
But yeah, Brock Bowers it was a weird pick, but I mean, you play him at slot and you have Mayer at tight end.
Okay.
Yeah.
A reach.
You could say it was a reach, but like potential wise, it was an amazing pick.
Yes, potential wise, it was an amazing pick.
I don't think they could have gotten him later.
I mean, it depends on who they would have traded down with, whether it was the Packers or.
But I mean, I like Chop Robinson. He's a good player.
I like him too, but I don't think you select him.
Patrick Paul.
Pull. So Patrick Paul, I like that offensive tackle from Houston.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right, I'll say. But I mean, he was obviously second tier.
Yeah, Jalen Wright was kind of weird, but I mean, they were talking about how Raheem Mostert's 30, and
they have history of drafting really well with late round running backs. I mean,
yeah, very true. Malik Washington was a really good pick. I was a big fan of him at Virginia.
Yes, I think he could
definitely steal. Taj Washington. How did he fall to the 7th?
I don't know.
I also really like him from USC. I think they had a really good draft class. Very sneaky later rounds too. So
yes. Okay.
Vikings
for Miami. They select JJ McCarthy and they did not trade up to get him. So I'm gonna give. I knew that's who they wanted. So I'll give that a really good pick. They did not really have to trade up to get him.
Like I've said this, I'm not a big fan of McCarthy, right? But since they didn't have to trade up to get him, I like this pick. You know what I mean?
And then they trade up to get Dallas Turner.
Yeah, and I also want to stick on the JJ McCarthy thing, right? So JJ McCarthy is set up to succeed, right?
Yes.
He has the best wide receiver in the draft or in the league, and Justin Jefferson, and he has Jordan Addison. He has T.J. Hawkinson. There is no reason why he should fail.
Well, I don't think he will.
And he could easily become a really good quarterback.
I think I might have him picked as my rookie of the year.
I mean, it's very good possibility.
I think he's going to be the best quarterback in the NFC. Well, he'll be the best rookie quarterback in the NFC North.
I honestly could see it too. I'm like not even joking. He's he has all the talents around him to be successful.
And then they really traded their second and third round pick to get Dallas Turner.
I
like that
amazing pick. Yes,
I like trading up to get him. He fell way below. He fell below where we thought he was going to go.
Yeah, I mean we had him mocked at 10, right, or 8.
Yeah,
Atlanta.
something like that.
But Dallas Turner. He was the first defensive player off the board too, which is even crazier.
And shout out Walter Rouse.
Yeah. With their 4th round pick, they selected Kyrie Jackson, which I really like him. He's really fast, really good boundary corner. Like I said, very lengthy, 6'4". They selected Will Riker, the all-time leading point scorer in NCAA history. So they selected your boy. And I told you, didn't I, BT, that Rouse was gonna get
I
selected.
knew he was gonna get picked, but I didn't think he was gonna get picked that early. I thought he was seventh.
I told you, I was like, BT, I wouldn't be surprised if Rouse goes, earlier than everyone expects.
Okay.
Um,
Well, with the
Drake
Patriots,
May.
they did not draft JJ McCarthy, and I will give that an A. I think Drake May's.
I like Drake May.
I think
I honestly think he could be better than Caleb.
he's quarterback one for me. He was quarterback one way. I just
Yes,
don't like Caleb Williams' attitude.
Yeah, he has all the intangibles to be better than Caleb Williams.
And he did not have a good enough. He would have looked like Caleb Williams if he had a roster like Caleb Williams.
If Drake May was at a better Power 5 school, he would have won Heisman like at least 2 times.
Yes. Yes.
He has a great arm.
Talent.
He's very athletic. He has amazing size. Yes, I love this pick. I hate that he's a Patriot. What? Jalen Polk, another great pick.
Yes.
He will go up and grab that.
Yes, he is really good at 50-50
He's very good at spectacular catch. If he is, his spectacular catch should be at least 85. Madden, you hear this podcast? Fuck you, because you screw the Steelers all every time you make new games. So yeah, give him 85 spectacular catch.
Okay, so and then they had 2 really good offensive lineman picks here for them. I'm not going to go too much, but I like this. I like this Javon Baker pick.
Oh yeah,
he is really good.
He played really good against you guys, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And really speedy guy.
Yeah, which I mean,
with the height.
Like the thing I see in this draft class, right? You give Drake May 2 really good options, right? And Jalen Polk and Javon Baker, and you also have Tyquan Thornton, from Baylor last year.
That whole offense. Because the defense was not the problem last year, and you knew.
And then they drafted Joe Milton in the 6th, which I've heard that he might transition to tight end.
I understand that pick because I mean, if Drake May does bust, you have another good quarterback.
Yeah, you have a backup option, but I mean, he could also play tight end too. So maybe give him like a number that makes him eligible. Jaheim Bell, yeah. Which
they're gonna try to do what they tried to do with that Malik Cunningham. Saints, they select Talise Fuaga.
I mean, I think I mocked them to take a tackle. I don't think I mocked them to take Talise Fuaga.
And they trade up to number 9 to get Kool-Aid in the 2nd round, who fell.
Breaking news.
Who won the MVP?
Nuggets superstar Nikola Jokic wins MVP.
Stupid.
I told you he would.
The NBA's rigged.
Yeah, we'll get into that later, though, because we got to go over all the rest of the awards. But, yeah, I'm a big fan of Talise Fuaga. The best Oregon State player probably in recent memory. Yeah, they're aging line. Trevor Penning, he isn't really living up to his expectation from you and I. Ryan Ramczyk is getting older. And so I think, you take one of the better offensive tackles in the league and Fuaga. And yeah, I like this pick. Kool-Aid McKinstry, he fell a little, which is understandable because he had kind of a rough year, but it wasn't his fault. They just didn't throw the ball to him.
I like their 5th round selection, Spencer Rattler, though. I really do.
Spencer Rattler. Yes, he could potentially be a starting caliber quarterback. He was the cockiest little fucker. And earlier,
I really thought the Raiders were going to select him in the 5th round. I did not think the Saints would.
And I guess he has matured a lot.
Yes,
and he's become more of a leader.
And I like 2 of their late picks here. I like Jalen Ford from Texas, really good.
Jalen Ford, really good pick.
And then Christian Boyd from Northern Iowa is really good. Mm-hmm. He did display at Northern Iowa, and that's why he fell. I think if he was playing at a different school where he got actual national media recognition, he's a top.
Well, and
he's a top defensive lineman.
How do you spell his name?
Which one?
Boyd.
Yes. If you watch his tape, he looks really good.
I think keep talking about,
okay, I'm gonna move to the Giants.
But yeah, Jalen Ford is a really good pick. I'm just what team was that, by the way? That was the Saints. Okay.
So the Giants select Malik Neighbors 6th. I think that's a good pick. They did not draft JJ McCarthy. I give them props. They're gonna stick with Daniel Jones for one more year and try to if it doesn't go well, they'll play their hand next year in the quarterback draft class. So Malik Neighbors gives Daniel Jones a weapon that he did not have previously on the Giants.
Yeah, Daniel Jones has no excuse.
He has no excuse. I like Tyler Nubin, trading up
Yep.
for him.
Very, very good pick. He easily could
Um,
have gone the first. I'm surprised the Packers didn't draft him,
yeah.
but Packers also had a fucking stupid draft. So, Theo Johnson, kind of a weird pick. Andrew Phillips, though. I'm a big Andrew Phillips guy. He had a really good year at Kentucky, and he could be that very good slot corner for the Giants
Okay.
in nickel. So,
You ready for the Jets?
I keep going. I'm not done talking about Theo Johnson. Just that gives him tight end depth. Tyrone Tracy. This is a good story. This was like his first year playing running back, and he got drafted in the 5th. Like this was his first time playing running back. I'm pretty sure he was like a linebacker or corner before this year, and like he switched to RB this year. And so that's a really interesting story. And he's a player, I could see potentially being a big playmaker for the Giants with their lack of RB depth. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Jets.
Jets. They draft Olu Fashanu. I give that an A pick.
A plus, in my opinion. He, in my opinion, is one of the better tackles. I had him as tackle 2 in this class behind Joe Alt. He's very young. He's like younger than us, BT. I think he's like 20, 21. I guess kind of crazy. I'm a really big fan of that pick. I think he's going to be the tackle of the future. I can see him being the next all-pro great tackle.
I like Malachi Corley.
Yep. I really wanted it. I really wanted him, BT.
And
he's
now,
really fast.
Now Aaron Rodgers
really,
is going to be
really great playmaker. Drafted Braylon Allen in the 4th.
I like him. I said I liked him.
Yep, he's really young too, isn't he?
Yes.
He's like one of the younger players in this draft class. He gives you a good backup option to Brees Hall. Maybe put him in for like power 3rd and 1s or something like that.
We can talk
Jordan
about
Travis. How do you feel about the Jordan Travis field or pick?
I don't think he's a 5th round talent. I think they reached.
I mean, it was a very weak class.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he has what it takes to be an NFL quarterback.
He
has a really bad injury history.
Yeah, I mean, but like he's very good scrambler quarterback. So, and then Isaiah Davis.
He doesn't have a picture.
I think this was a good pick for a 5th round pick. I've personally seen him play, and he's a monster. If he can get the opportunity, BT, I think he can be better than Braylon Allen. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And then they drafted a guy from
Quintez
the Toronto Argonauts.
Toronto Argonauts. God.
Is that in the CFL?
Go back to school. Yeah, it is.
You can draft players out of the. Yeah, I didn't know you could draft.
He's not good. If you look at his tape, he literally just caught fucking like rainbow balls, like just chucked up. He hasn't really shown anything. What was their last draft pick, by the way?
Jalen Key.
Yeah, I mean,
Mr.
I like their draft. I like their draft. Really good.
Speaking of liking their draft,
A plus.
Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, you revamp your entire defensive back.
Amazing picks. Quinion Mitchell
like that pick.
is an amazing pick. Cornerback 1 in the class for me. Cooper DeJean. The reason why he fell was because people are racist and he's injured.
Will Shipley, like that pick.
Will Shipley, he's a good, he'll be a good depth piece.
Anaya Smith, like him at wide receiver.
Yes, he's very fast, isn't he?
Yes, I believe so. And then Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
His dad played in Philadelphia BT. His dad's, I think, in the Ring of Honor.
Trevor Keegan played on Michigan's Joe Moore winning offensive line last year. No, not last year.
And you know how good the Eagles coaches are at developing late round draft picks.
And then Johnny Wilson, like him.
Dude, I love this pick. I really, really wanted the Steelers to pick him, dude.
And then Dylan McMahon.
He's 6'7". He is 6'7", BT.
I really like Dylan McMahon at offensive guard. Really athletic. You just have to mold him, which the Eagles have molded.
Oh, what is the Eagles offensive line coach's name? I remember Jason Kelsey talking about it.
I don't remember his name, but Dylan McMahon could be a plug-and-play starter if we can get him molded right this offseason.
Offensive line coach.
And to get him in the 6th round with your last pick of the draft, that's really, really good for your scouting department and your general management team.
Jeff Stoutland. the offensive line master. I really like him. And then, in my opinion, not being biased, A+ of a draft for us.
Okay. Talk about
Troy Fautanu. A little bit of a steal in my opinion. One of the better tackles in this class. I know we got him at 20, but his fundamentals are really good, very strong. He'll probably play right tackle, and then Broderick Jones will switch over to left tackle. Zach Frazier, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for this draft class as a Steelers fan. Zach Frazier's our future center. He's a dog. He literally broke his leg on a play, and instead of like laying down to use a timeout, he limped off the field for his team,
and they won the game.
And they won the game. And I'm a huge Zach Frazier fan. Roman Wilson, I thought they were better receivers, but he's a good slot. He'll probably
you got the two brothers.
He'll probably play slot receiver.
The two brothers.
Yeah, Peyton Wilson. I love this pick. If we can get a healthy Peyton Wilson, he's going to be one of the better middle linebackers in the league.
You now could have potentially three starters with the last name of Wilson next year.
Yeah. But Peyton Wilson, fun fact about him, he does not have an ACL, BT.
Oh, well.
He doesn't have an ACL. So if he can be healthy, we're going to be set. Mason McCormick, another guy that can potentially start for us this year. I'm a really big fan of him. I personally watched him. Dude is humongous. And just is that farm kid that, is strong as fuck. Logan Lee, a great pick, in my opinion. He could have gone earlier in the draft, in my opinion. Ryan Watts is just cornerback depth. We have a weak cornerback room, so I like the pick. And I'm a huge fan of this draft. There's just some other players that I wish we could have gotten and traded up for, but it is what it is. I'm happy, and I'm telling you this now. Steelers are a team to watch. So Byron Murphy.
Byron Murphy. I like that pick. I didn't think they were going to take him.
I didn't either. I honestly thought they were going to take like a corner or offensive lineman.
I was a bit surprised by that pick. And
the talent is there, BT. Like he's one of the better defensive players in this class. So
I'm going to be honest. The rest of the players I only know are
Christian Haynes is a really good offensive lineman.
Haynes,
he played at UConn, but very good upside. Very good upside. He's
and then AJ
really
Barner.
Good. AJ Barner. He what's funny about this? He was a 4th round pick, right? And he was backup. Yeah. He was a backup. And then I think that's it. DJ James, that's his name to look out for. He was pretty good. Okay,
on to the 49ers. I don't like this pick. I don't.
You could have got this guy in the 2nd round.
I would have taken Ladd over him.
Like, he's a good player, right?
Yes.
He's good. Except there was a lot better players left on the board, and you could have got this guy in the 2nd round. That's the only reason why I don't like it.
I think you drafted a wide receiver in the 4th round that's better than the one you drafted in the 1st round.
Renardo Green.
I didn't know much about him.
I don't know much about him either, but I heard he's like, I don't know. I don't really.
I know Pooney. He's really good. He was really good at Kansas.
He was really good at Kansas. Yep, I've been a really big fan of him. He could have gone earlier.
Like I said, Jacob Cowing. I think he's a better wide receiver than Purse.
Why do you think that?
He's just an athlete.
But he's 5'8".
He's 5'8", but he catches everything.
Yeah,
trust me. I watched this in the Alamo Bowl, Stu.
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of Jacob Cowing. He is super small. Why does it say he's 5'8" there, and then the other one it says he's 5'11"? It says 5'8" right there. Click on his name.
Maybe that's what Arizona ruled him as, and they just transferred his Arizona profile to.
Yeah, but he's just way too small for me.
And then I really don't know.
I like Ricky better than him. I'm not gonna, go against that. So, yeah.
I like Graham Barton pick here.
Yeah, he'll probably convert to center.
Well, it says he's already a center here.
Yeah, I mean, but he was a guard tackle
Yeah, I
he'll
think
he'll
he'll play
convert to
center.
center to take over Ryan Jensen.
Yes.
Good pick.
Chris
Um,
Braswell, I like him
yeah, we were
for a
big
second round
Braswell
talent.
fans. Very good edge.
And Tyke Smith.
Very good.
Yes. Jalen McMillan,
Mm-hmm.
really good wide
He's
receiver.
another go up and get a guy.
And then Bucky
Um,
Irving at running back. He's little, but I think if I remember correctly, he's really fast.
Yeah. Mhm.
Rest of these are just
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
just guys. And J.C. Latham.
I like him. I like
I
Latham.
understand Joe Alt did not fall to them, so they reached. I think I would rather take Olu Fashanu here though.
Latham, in my opinion, is like one of the most aggressive offensive linemen I've seen in the past couple drafts.
Nick Saban was happy if you're watching the
Yeah.
ABC commercial.
JC Latham, he is very good. He's very aggressive. He has those long arms you want, and I like this pick.
And then surprising,
you couldn't go wrong with either Aluf Fashanu or JC Latham.
I think T'Vondre Sweat had the talent, but I mean he had off the field issues. I did not think he was going to go that high.
The Titans must have talked to him, and he must
Yeah.
have said that like he got all this shit figured out. So
We'll see.
yeah.
Usually they say that, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Then Cedric Gray, I like that linebacker, and the rest are just guys to me. I don't see any difference makers here. Washington, Jaden Daniels, though I like that pick. I mean, I think Drake May would have been the better pick, but
Yeah, I mean, you give him the tools to succeed, and he has tools. He has
I mean,
Austin Eckler,
to compare him to somebody at RG3.
RG3.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be interesting,
RG3
though.
with the turnover problem. That's my comparison to him.
I don't think he
Just the way
turns
he
ball
carries
that
a
much.
football, he's very fumble prone. Derzon Newton, I like that pick. Steal. I wanted the Texans. I wanted the Texans to trade up for him, but we didn't. Mike Santrell, I really like that pick.
I do too. He's a really
Ben
good corner.
Sano was a little bit of a reach.
Dude, I was surprised he went in the second. I was like, what the fuck?
I did not think he was going in the second.
He's like a fullback tight end guy. Like, I was way surprised that he got drafted.
And then Luke McCaffrey, third round.
They kind of reached for him. They probably could have.
McCaffrey.
They could have drafted him later, but like I guess his dad is friends with someone in the front office. But I mean, Luke McCaffrey.
Are you claiming nepotism, Stu?
I'm not claiming that. I mean, I'm saying it could have been a very big impact.
That's a very mean accusation.
But no, like Luke McCaffrey has all the tools to be good. You know what I mean? He was good in Nebraska, and then he went to Rice and became a good wide receiver. So, yeah.
Okay, so it's time to start previewing college football. Like we said, we're going to go one team every week, but we missed last week, so we have two teams for both of us this week.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start out with my SEC. First team up, we're going to go alphabetical order. So I'm going to go with Alabama. So I'm going to start off with their offense. Obviously, Jalen Milroe is back. I can see him. Okay, let's go over the broad scope. Kalen DeBoer's first year at Alabama. This is not a Nick Saban team. A lot of players transferred out, so we'll go over that. So their offense, Jalen Milroe is returning. I think he could take a jump under the DeBoer offense like Michael Penix took jumps. But they do have unproven running backs who haven't really played at the Power 5 level, and they have unproven receivers who haven't really played at the Power 5 level. They have one guy that started majority of the year at wide receiver last year for them. Not ideal, but you also have a really elite offensive line returning with Peyton. Oh, what's his name? Just transfer. Oh my God, what's his name? Went to Iowa, then transferred back to Alabama.
Oh, Ken Proctor.
Kane Proctor.
What the fuck was he? How'd you forget that name?
Because I got him mixed up with the Texas guy, Peyton.
We literally grew up like two hours from him.
Okay, onto the defense. They have a really good interior defense. They have a really good defense returning, I would say. Interior defensive line, I would say, is their second best unit on the team behind their linebackers. Two linebackers named to watch, I would say. Deontay Lawson and Jihad Campbell. Those two could be the best linebacker duo in the country, period. The one thing, you have unproven defensive backs. You lost a lot to the draft this year, so you have to bring in new guys new freshman. You don't know how they're going to play. And then you also have unproven defensive ends. You lost Dallas Turner, lost whatever the other one's name is. He lost both of them. So this will kick me into the schedule for Alabama. Week 1, they have Western Kentucky win, obviously. Week 2, South Florida. I'm going to have them winning. Week 3, their first real test at Wisconsin. I don't think Wisconsin is good enough to hang with Alabama. So I'll give Alabama the win there, 3-0. Then it gets tough. They play Georgia. I'm going to have Georgia beating them. So that drops Alabama to 3-1. And they have Vanderbilt and South Carolina. Wins for both of those. Then they play at Tennessee. Third Saturday in October. Tennessee's a tough place to play. With all the, like I said, with all the inexperience you have on your roster, I think Nico is a really good quarterback for Tennessee. So I think Tennessee gets the upset in Knoxville. But I do think you upset Missouri. You beat LSU. I think LSU loses a lot. They're not going to be the same team they were this year. And you beat Mercer. So that puts you at 8-2 in your final 2 games. They go to Oklahoma. Another tough place to play. You're going to notice I'm going to have a trend, inexperienced team. And I'm not trying to be biased. I like what Oklahoma returns compared to what Alabama returns. I know it's going to sound crazy. Oklahoma could have a top 10 defense next year. They return about 88% of their production. And the 12% they got rid of were bad, awful players. So I like Oklahoma's defense. I think the defense carries Oklahoma to a win against Alabama. And then I think Alabama beats Auburn. So Alabama, in my projection, will finish 9-3 with 6-3 in the SEC. You want to go over your first? You go over your first Big 12 team, which would be Arizona.
I can go over the first one.
And then I'll go back
Arizona
to my
State
SEC
first.
Okay, Arizona State.
Arizona State's a pretty unique team. They're coming off a rough year in the Pac-12, 3-9.
Then they lost their. Not to mention they did lose Jaden Rashada. So.
Yep, they did lose Jaden Rashada. It's kind of interesting. So I was watching their spring game. Their expected quarterback to start is Sam Levitt, which, he looked really good in the spring game. Especially when he was on the run. Very versatile quarterback who can.
Yeah, run, but I take spring game. I watch the spring game, but I'm not going to take that because you're playing against yourselves. So that shows good signs, and that shows I'm
talking about what I saw and what I think.
Yeah. Well, you go ahead.
He looked decent. He was making some throws. I really liked his dual threat presence. He could run the ball. However, his lack of experience shows. Him being a redshirt freshman really showed.
Yeah,
he missed a lot of wide open balls. He kind of got scared when the pocket collapsed. Their backup quarterbacks are both very athletic. Their running back Cam Scatbro, he looked pretty good. They were kind of all right on defense. Also, I want to say they were dropping a lot of open passes, BT. Which, if you're dropping wide open passes in a spring game, you got to think what are you going to do when you're playing teams that actually want to, hurt you and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a very rough year for this new this young Arizona State team that is going into a very good conference. So I think my predictions: the first week they play Wyoming, they should win.
Yeah.
The second week they play Mississippi State, that's a loss. Third week they play Texas State, that's a win for me. So I give them 2-1. And then here we go.
Big 12 play.
They play Texas Tech, that's an L.
Yes. Yeah.
Play Kansas, that's an L.
Yep.
Play Utah, that's an L.
Yep.
They play Cincinnati. I think they can get a dub.
Okay, dub against Cincinnati.
I think Cincinnati's going to be one of the worst teams in the conference.
Yeah. Yeah, they did not transition well last year.
Oklahoma State, L.
Yep.
UCF, L.
Yep.
I could see it possibly being a win, but I'm gonna say
No,
L.
I think UCF is going to be really good next year.
Kansas State, L.
Yep.
BYU, L, that's another game, that could go either way, but BYU also transitioned a lot better last year.
Yeah.
Arizona, L. So that gives me I'm predicting them to go another 3-9 this season. With their ceiling, I can see their ceiling be 5-7, but with a floor of 2-10.
Yeah.
A very hit or miss team. I just think the lack of experience on their team is really going to bite them in the ass. And they're playing a more competitive conference. You're not playing these fucking Oregon State. You're not playing, not discrediting Oregon State, but you're not playing like.
I was gonna say Oregon State was like one of the best teams in the league last
year. You're not going to play teams like California or Stanford or Washington State. You know what I mean? You're going to be playing like all of these teams in the Big 12 are going to be competitive. It's a very wide open league in my opinion this year, and that'll lead me. You want me to go to Arizona?
I can do mine. I'll do mine.
Okay.
So we give it.
All right, but I don't think Arizona State's going to transition well at all. I think it's going to be a very brutal couple of years.
Okay, so I'm on Arkansas now. Arkansas head coach Sam Pittman on the hot seat this year, I would say, for the Razorbacks. Offensively, they did hire a new offensive coordinator, Bobby Petrino, from Texas A&M, who was fired from the last staff. Yada yada yada. They did bring in a transfer quarterback who is projected to start, Taylon Green from Boise State. I really like him, but I think their best player on offense is Luke Haas. He was a freshman All-American last year in the SEC. Well, total. I think this year he has the chance to be the best tight end in the SEC. I really like him. They don't really have a lot on offense. It's a revamped offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like what they have offensively. They lose KJ Jefferson, lose Rocket Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Just not a good look for Arkansas.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very brutal
defense.
Year for them.
Your best group on the team is the defensive end. I would watch out names for like Landon Jackson, Anton Junkaj. Those are the two probably best players on their defense on the edges. They have a decent two interior defensive linemen, but after they have absolutely no depth whatsoever. So, and that's not what you want in a deep SEC. Then also unproven players that haven't played in the linebacker and defensive backs. And that brings me to their schedule. You could tell I'm probably not going to be kind. But
I mean it's
I have them off to a hot start.
It's just very justifiable. I mean, they're in a very competitive SEC.
You're going to call me crazy. Okay, week 1 they play Arkansas Pine Bluff. You got to win. You just got to win that one. Week 2 they play Oklahoma State. And you know how Oklahoma State historically have slow starts to the season? I think Arkansas goes to Oklahoma State and beats them. I think, and then they beat UAB, and then they have the stretch. At Auburn, Texas A&M, Tennessee, LSU, give them all losses. So they dropped to 3-4. I think they beat Mississippi State, so that makes them 4-4. They play Ole Miss and Texas after that. Yeah, I give them losses for that. So which makes them 4-6. Then they play Louisiana Tech. 4-7. Eliminate. Oh wait, no, they win. So 5-6.
Yeah.
And then they play the last game of the season at Missouri. It's not going to be good enough. I have them at 5-7 with a 1-7 record in the SEC. Probably not going to finish last for me, but probably second.
Hey, they still have a small chance of making a bowl game,
which is crazy to me. But it's just the way the SEC is.
Yeah, it's going to be a very. I mean, they're kind of rebuilding, right?
And I don't.
They're a basketball school.
They're a basketball. You look forward to basketball season, and then and then my prediction for Arkansas, I think Sam Pittman will be out as head coach, and they will bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
All right, now to Arizona. A lot of changes at Arizona.
Now we got one of the better teams coming into the Big 12. I got Arizona. So some players, you got to look out for. Obviously, Noah Fifita.
Oh
the
God,
quarterback.
don't remind me.
PTSD. He's very small. All right. And he kind of struggled and panicked when the offensive line collapsed in the spring game. He definitely made some throws, but only when he could get them off. You know what I mean? Their offensive line is kind of not, I don't know whether to say young, but they're losing their best offensive lineman and Morgan, who we previously talked
Yes,
about for the Packers. Um, Arizona was very pass heavy in their spring game. BT.
yes.
I only saw them run the ball a couple times.
And they're led by a new head coach, right? Because
Yeah,
Brent, I think
Brett
it's
Brett
Brennan,
Brett Beneman from Washington. Yep.
or not from Washington, from San Jose
San
State, I
Jose
think.
State, right? Yeah.
Yes, their old coach
It's
went
gonna
to
be interesting
Washington.
to see what he brings, but like you got to be more versatile, and I know you go into a conference that hasn't been highly touted for defense, but you know their wide receiver group was very solid though. BT. They
Yes,
have Tatario McMillan, who could potentially be a first round pick next year, second round pick. Um, Montana Lamonis Craig was really good. Also Hyatt, or what was this? I think his last name's Hyatt. Hyatt was really good for him during the spring game. Um, yeah, those are just a couple players on offense that were really good. Uh, but the wide receiver group was solid, like I was saying. Their defense looked good. Their pass rush was very dominant.
yes.
You
That was,
make
I think, that was their biggest question. Was the defense
yeah, their,
returning
their
next
their
year?
defense was even their backups, because they usually play their backups in the
Yeah,
spring
yeah,
games against
yeah.
their starting. Their backups, BT, were
Yeah.
like getting
I think
after Noah Fifita.
I think Arizona is a sneaky team that won the Big 12. Nobody's really talking.
Yes,
They're talking about
yeah,
Kansas State. They're talking about
mhm.
Iowa State. They're talking about who else are they talking
Yeah. Their DBs were sufficient. They weren't nothing. Great. Some notable defensive players though. Do you remember Justin Flo
Yep, I remember
from
him from
Oregon?
big guy,
He
big
is
guy.
he's coming back healthy, and if he's healthy, he can easily be one of the better linebackers. He was a monster coming out of high school, but he's been injured multiple times in his career. And also their Takario Davis, who entered his name back in the transfer portal back in January and has not withdrawn or announced that he's coming back yet. So that could be a very big question mark. He is like, as of right now, the top corner next year, I think, in the 2025 NFL draft. So that's something to look out for. But yeah, their defense was really good in their spring game. You said you're high on Arizona. I'm not quite as high on Arizona, but
I
hear
don't know
me
what their
out.
schedule looks like, so I'm not
Hear
gonna
me
say
out. Hear me
anything.
out. Arizona, I'm not as very high on them, but they could easily be very good in the Big 12.
Yes,
Um, so I got them winning the first two games. They play New Mexico and Northern Arizona. Should be two squash games.
yeah,
And then they kind of go on a tough stretch. They play
okay,
Kansas State and they play Utah. Those are
ooh,
very two tough games, right?
yes,
And I have them losing to Kansas State,
okay,
and I have them losing to Utah. I think Utah is probably the favorite right now to win the Big 12.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
they're,
I
they're the
know.
most
I think the
experienced.
favorite's Oklahoma State is the betting
Yeah, but
favorite.
Oklahoma State, I'm not even,
I mean, they have the best player. We'll get into them, but they have the best player
yeah,
in the league.
yeah. But yeah, I got them losing two in a row, but then I got them winning two in a row. They play Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is, going to be good next year, in my opinion. But I
I,
think Arizona's pass rush, and I'm just, I think Arizona's better team. BYU is another team that I could see, not being as good next year.
yeah.
But you never know with the Mormons. So I got them. I got Arizona winning those two, and then I kind of have an interesting two games right here. All right, they play Colorado,
No
and
way. You're not gonna have them losing to Colorado.
this year they almost lost to Colorado, BT,
Okay.
and Colorado has revamped their offensive line and have been recruiting very good.
But he's gonna.
I
Have
don't think Colorado's going to be, the
But
best
he's
team in
gonna
the Big
have
12
Colorado
by
in the
far.
playoff next year. I'm calling it.
Colorado, in my opinion, is not
Overrated.
a top 5 team in the Big 12, in my opinion.
They're not a top 10 team in the Big 12.
I wouldn't say I could probably say they're top 10. I have Colorado beating Arizona.
You're hyping up a team that went 3-9 last year.
Yeah, but also with a shitty line, and they legit like I don't think they have a single same offensive lineman returning, and they recruited really well.
It's not a good look what's happening at Colorado right now. That's all I'll say.
It isn't, but you got to think, with the talent they have around them. I personally think Colorado will be, I'm kind of spoiling, but I think they'll be around 6-6, 7-5 next year. I can see that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I think, and with these games, it's sneaky. Colorado's always sneaky. They almost beat Arizona this year.
Okay.
You can't lie. Colorado lost like 5 games.
But when did they play?
Later in
Did
the
they
season.
play later? Okay.
Yeah, when Arizona was the 11th ranked team in the country.
Okay.
And that's why I'm thinking, Colorado, they have the experience playing them, and Colorado's gonna be better this year.
And then what was the other game you said?
West Virginia. This game,
I like West Virginia. I could see it.
I like them too. This game is really 50-50 with me, but I mean, I see them losing to one other, OG Big 12 team. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think their West Virginia game is in.
Do you consider Colorado an OG Big 12 team?
I'm talking this past year, I should say.
Well, it's a fair question to ask at this point.
Yeah, I'm just saying an OG, because yeah.
Don't even say, because they were in the league before.
Yes, Colorado. I know, but I'm just saying I think they'll lose to West Virginia. West Virginia is that sneaky team.
That's fair.
And then I got them winning out. I have them winning against UCF. I have them winning against Houston. I have them winning against TCU, and then obviously winning against Arizona State. My prediction is I think they finish 8-4.
That's not bad.
But like I said, their ceiling, in my opinion, is 10-2. They could easily be 10-2.
10-2.
10-2. I'm being safe with 10-2. I think they could go 11-1. But their ceiling could also be 7-5. You know what I mean?
Their floor. You mean?
But yeah, that's my overview of.
So
Arizona,
next week,
Arizona State.
I will be doing Auburn, and Stuvie will be doing Baylor, if I'm correct.
Oh boy, that's going to be interesting.
Shout out to Worry. He's going to ask Worry for the input.
I don't need to. Baylor has nobody.
Jesus, Baylor's back. Baylor's back to the poverty they were in the early 2000s.
I'm telling you, Baylor. I do not see them winning more than 4 games next year.
I don't see them. They're back to how they were before the Art Briles era. And if you know history of college football, you know that was not very good. Okay, on to the NBA playoffs. I guess from the last time we talked, the Thunder won 4-0.
Yeah,
but we kind of did predict this.
We did predict it, but we also said that if Zion was playing,
yeah. Now, Stuvie,
it could have been a different game, dude. I thought the Clippers would win.
How many years are you gonna go through with this? Where you think the Clippers are gonna make the conference finals?
I just gotta stop, dude. It's bad. It's so bad.
Okay.
You know what? Hey, it won't happen again next year. Do you know why?
Why?
Because Paul George is leaving.
Yeah, but he's not going. He's going to. Oh shit! I do have news regarding the Lakers. There is relative smoke that if Jimmy Butler requests the trade out of Miami, the Lakers would be a top destination.
Yeah, I also saw the 76ers though, so I wouldn't get too touched. But no, the Clippers, bro. What the fuck?
Okay, Luka Magic.
It doesn't help that Luka plays out of his mind. This series though was surprising.
Anthony Edwards is here.
Yeah,
I think he's the best player in the NBA. The way he's playing, can you argue with me?
I think he's the best player in the playoffs right now.
If
he's been playing amazing, but dude,
he's Michael Jordan's
so
son.
good. He's
so
good, dude.
If you look at the pictures, you cannot argue.
I know.
We need to have a deep dive this summer if Anthony Edwards is Michael Jordan's son or not.
Dude, he's so good. He's been tearing up. You want? Let's talk about it, BT. Just I'll let you rant. I'll go on mute. You rant about it.
Refs kind of save the Nuggets here a little bit. I think it all stems back to the I think that was game 2 where they slapped D'Angelo Russell in the face. No foul was called, and of course the Nuggets come back. Jamal Murray hits the game winner, and they shouldn't have even been because that blocking foul on LeBron was not a foul. Stu, you'll have his rights about that NBA refs as well.
But yeah, okay, I also want to say this.
And
though.
I couldn't watch Game 5. I was at a concert. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Well, and I agree. And I'll get back into the refs too later. But you have to admit, there's no reason why you should be blowing 20-point leads.
The reason we did that, he's out the door.
Yeah.
Darvin Ham is out the door.
But you have to admit, you have to admit that's unacceptable. Even as a Lakers fan, you have to admit that is unacceptable to be up by 20 plus.
And then the most idiotic thing, Game 5, Jared Vanderbilt, Christian Wood can play, and you don't play your fucking best defender. You sit him on the bench all 48 fucking minutes. And crazy, look what the Timberwolves' best defender's doing to Jamal Murray right now. Jamal Murray's a different story. He should not even be playing Game 3.
Yeah, it's just very unfortunate. We both, I think, had the Lakers winning it this year, didn't we? I think I had the Cavs winning it, and you had the Lakers, but it was just bad. I feel bad, BT.
I think Darvin Ham knew he was going to get fired, so he just intentionally threw the season.
I don't know if you'd say that. If they would have
then why would you not play Vanderbilt if he's available to play?
I don't know. Why would you keep playing D'Angelo Russell when he's shot 4 for 29 the whole series?
Well, because D'Angelo Russell can hit shots. Look at game. What game did he shoot everything and made it? Game 2.
Yeah, look at him after that though. he did nothing.
And that comes back to coaching. If you play Vanderbilt and you clamp up Jamal Murray does not hit that game-winning shot.
Maybe.
And you're talking about a potential 3-0 comeback.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this. I'm saying this. You shouldn't be in the position. God damn the fucking Pacers.
Don't look at it, Steve. Don't look at it. We'll get over there.
It's just you can't be in that position to choke a game like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. We'll talk about.
Also, it doesn't help that you let Jokic drop 20 rebounds.
Okay, we'll and part of that comes because you did not play your other big man who was healthy in Game 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Thunder and Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder killed them. Shout out the Thunder. I'm cheering for them. Yeah. That's my team.
Thunder, Timberwolves, Pacers. Those are the 3 teams that haven't won a championship in the playoffs. So.
And well.
All right, never mind. We're okay, BT. We're losing 10-13 now. Your ESPN's a little behind.
Okay, so Thunder demolished the Mavericks.
Yeah. Dude, Thunder's so good. I'm not you can take away Shea, and I still think they would be good.
Say it, Stewie. Say who was right. Who was right? Who was right?
To be fair, I had them in the playoffs too.
You didn't have them. You didn't have them as a top 4 seed.
I did not. I will admit that you did.
You did not have them winning Coach of the Year.
To be fair, I had Adrian Griffin winning, and he had them off to a 20-10 start, and he fucking got fired.
Okay, we're speaking the Jamal Murray situation here. Jamal Murray should have been suspended.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why.
Heat pad on the court.
He threw it at the ref.
Yeah,
and let alone Michael Malone screaming in the face of the ref.
He only got $100,000 fine, dude. That's crazy.
And then David, whatever the fuck his name is, Mike Malone, doesn't get tossed out of a game when he's literally screaming at the ref in the face. He walked across the court and screamed at the ref. Any other coach in the NBA would get tossed, suspended, and fined.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is how much the NBA dick rides the Denver Nuggets. You could say the Lakers' free throw advantage. That's not even a real thing. This is absolutely blatant homerism for the Denver Nuggets.
But they got shit on too.
And all that, and they still getting shit on by Michael
without the best. They're the best defender.
What do you mean?
Gobert didn't play.
Okay, that's not okay. That's fair.
He won defensive player.
Yes, but he shouldn't have. And we both of us agree with that. We'll get into that.
Wemby, right?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, so the Heat surprisingly won a game, but they won a game because they hit like every shot they fucking put up. That's the
Yeah,
only reason.
they broke their franchise record for 3 points
Yeah, I think they broke the NBA record for most threes hit in a playoff game.
playoffs. Yeah, and then
Which
dude, I'm telling you, the Celtics are gonna win it all.
I mean, I can see it.
Like they're so dominant. They've beaten every game they've won. They've won by like 10 plus.
Yep, they're on the they're on the Yukon Huskies
Oh
run right
God!
now. And then the Magic. This was I said this was gonna be a. I'll take the blame. I said this was gonna be 4 or 5 games,
I
and
told you.
this went out to 7.
I told you it'd be. I think I called. Did I say it was gonna be 6 or 7?
I don't remember.
Let me see. Wait, nope. 30. I said it'd be a 5-game series.
we both got to take the bullet here.
Yeah.
Now, I got to see this.
Also, Donovan Mitchell back must be broken after carrying the Cavs.
Yes, I did say Cavs over Magic in 5. So, which, okay. I predicted this one right. Games and series winner. Oh, not this one right here. I predicted the Pacers in 6, and I got that right. I'll get a point for that one.
I'm happy. We won a series. This is our first series win, like that I've ever witnessed as a Pacers fan. The last one happened in 2014 against the Knicks, and that was when I was just getting into watching the NBA, and that was when we ran into fucking LeBron James and the big three in the Miami Heat. So I'm happy. Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam carried us that game. That series. Tariq Halliburton has to be better, dude. Has to be better. It's so bad. I'll talk about this in the next the next round, but
yeah,
he has to be better. And also, TJ McConnell, playoff TJ McConnell is better than any NBA player ever. So
even better than Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, he's better than Tyrese Halliburton.
Better than playoff Anthony Edwards.
Oh yeah.
So you would have playoff TJ McConnell over playoff Anthony Edwards on your team right now?
No, I'm just saying. TJ McConnell's been he has been different, dude. He has been different.
The Knicks and the 76ers. Joel Embiid's a dirty player.
Yep.
Fuck Embiid. Knicks and 6.
I really wish we were playing the 76ers, man.
No, until fucking Joel Embiid takes out Tyrese Halliburton's ankle, knocks him out 6 to 8 weeks. Or Miles Turner like he did with Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, because, he's out for the
6 to 8 weeks for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, he's out for the season, yeah.
Fuck Joel Embiid.
It was just very, very unfortunate, dude. I was so... Then, now we're playing the Knicks in the second game, which... Lord, here we go.
Here we go. See who's gonna... I'll mute myself for this one. See if we can...
Most rigged game I have ever watched in my life. The refs were against the Pacers the whole fucking game. I'm going to bring up the number of instances, okay? First of all, Tyrese Halliburton caught an air ball with like a second left, and they threw it up and there was 0.1 seconds. There's a picture of it, and the ball's up in the air. And they called it a shot clock violation, which we lost by 4 points. So that should have been a basket. That should have been 2 points, okay? Secondly, there was a supposed kick ball violation when Jalen Brunson lost control of the ball. There was no kick ball, no nothing, and that would have gotten us a fast break to score easily, and that would have changed the game. And I think that was with like 50 seconds left. And then, with 20 seconds left, okay, the refs called the weakest fucking moving screen of my life. My life.
And reviewed it and said it was a moving screen when it wasn't.
Yeah. It was, oh my God. You can't let the refs change this game. The Pacers should have won this game, and everyone on social media agrees. Even some Knick fans agree. Like the fuck, those are Knick fans. Fuck Knick fans, and we're losing again. God, oh my god, I can't with this fucking series. That game is gonna cost us a series. If whether we get swept by anything, that was a big swing. No, like let's hear me out, BT. We win this game, we win that game. We're up 1-0. That changes the whole like momentum of the series. Because now that like we know that the refs are against us, we're gonna have to play differently, and it's
Just
so
because you lose the 2
infuriating.
in Madison Square Garden doesn't mean the series is over.
And it's just so infuriating because the NBA wants the bigger market teams to win. As I'm saying this, like there's not that many bigger market teams in
Yeah,
the
they do,
playoffs right now.
Steve,
But
don't they? Don't they, Steve? I
well,
mean,
it's so infuriating because this shit always happens against the Pacers. The Pacers have the worst luck in NBA history. I'm convinced of it.
to be fair, if you're talking about bigger market teams, look at the fucking Western Conference.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. Okay, but it's so infuriating because like the I don't know, dude. It makes me so sad as a Pacers fan because I honestly don't think we're ever gonna win a championship in my lifetime. Knowing my luck as a fucking Pacers fan, they're gonna win it the year after I fucking die.
I'll be there for you, Steve.
Like it's just so infuriating, BT. Like also, can someone contain Josh Hart? The fucker is averaging like 13 rebounds and he's 6'4".
Laker legend. What can I say? Lakers
It's another
developed
prime
him.
example of how former Lakers are better elsewhere.
Well, to be fair, when he played on the Lakers, we didn't even have LeBron James.
It don't fucking
So,
matter.
and do you remember how ass the Lakers were when we did not have LeBron James?
Yeah, I do.
We thought
I
Lonzo Ball was the fucking next Kobe Bryant.
yeah,
I'm included. And Lonzo
yeah,
Ball hasn't played a basketball game since the year we graduated high school.
it's facts. No, but I'm just it's very frustrating, BT, as a Pacers fan, knowing that regardless of how good we're gonna be, like the refs will always be against us. We have the worst free throw differential in the league. It's so bad, dude. It makes me want to
Free
cry.
throw differential is an overrated stat.
Yeah, you would know having the fucking best in the league.
Not that it matters because we don't get calls anyway when it comes to playoffs.
Mm,
All right, let's do our predictions here. I think the Mavericks lose in 6.
yeah, I'm liking the
6 or
Thunder,
5.
dude. Thunder in 5.
I'd say Thunder in 5 or 6.
Hmm?
I think Nuggets get swept.
I think Nuggets will win one game, but then
No,
the Timberwolves will win
I
5
do
or 6.
not. With Rudy Gobert back, you lost without Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
Rudy Gobert is putting Nikola Jokic in hell.
yeah.
And then whoever the fuck is, I forgot what his name is, that's guarding Jamal Murray. He's putting Jamal Murray in hell.
Nasri, Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was guarding Jamal.
Anthony Edwards is putting Jamal Murray in hell.
Yep.
And the Nuggets only try to beat the Lakers. And I hope the Timberwolves start chanting, "Who's your daddy?" I really do.
All right, let's move to the East. I got the Celtics in 5.
I think the Celtics sweep.
I could see them sweeping as well, but if the Heat can win one game, I'm pretty sure the fucking Cavs can.
I think there's 2 sweeps in the East. That's all I'll say.
I think the Knicks will win in like 5.
And then I think the Celtics beat the Knicks in 5.
Celtics beat the Knicks, yep. And then I think the Timberwolves
Thunder
beat
beat the Timberwolves in
the
7.
Timberwolves beat the Thunder, and then I think the Celtics win it all.
I think the Celtics win it all, but I think the Thunder beat the Timberwolves in
Fucking
7.
Celtics, dude.
Fuck them.
Just pain. All right, now let's look at the awards, BT.
Oh yeah. Is there? I guess we can just talk about it. All right. So, MVP was just voted on. Nikola
Jokic.
Jokic. Me and Shaq agree. I think it should have been Shea.
I think it should have been, but I mean, I predicted it right. So yeah. Yeah, he deserved it. I mean, he was arguably the best player this year. Shea, you could
He's
have
never going to
the
win the
same.
MVP because he plays in a smaller market. He's not from a European country, so it's just completely biased
Yeah, but he's
against
from
him.
Canada.
It's not from a European country.
Yeah, no.
It's rigged against the black man.
Okay, PC. I think Jokic, deserved it. We could make arguments for Shea, but
Rookie of the year went to Wemby. We've already
which
known
I
that.
predicted. Yes, sir.
Coach of
Defensive
the
player of the
year.
year.
I predicted.
I'm talking like our last predictions.
I did predict him to win.
Yep, I did too. Rudy Gobert, defensive player of the year.
I
Should have
predicted
been
it.
Wemby.
Should have been Anthony Davis.
No, it shouldn't have. Wemby had so much better stats than both of
He
them.
just had more blocks per game. And
How about
Anthony
steals?
Davis
Look
had
at
the better
steals.
defensive rating.
What was the Anthony? What was? Let's look at this. You search up Anthony Davis's defensive rating.
Okay. Okay. Anthony Davis contested more 3-pointers. Second in rebounds. Second in blocks. Fourth in contested threes. And he guarded post ups 96% of the time.
How many? What was his defensive rating?
Hold on. Hold on. Let me get the. I don't know how to read these stats. Hold on. Player, offense, defensive rating. Hold on. I'm working on it.
They tied in steals, by the way.
Hold on. I have to find Anthony Davis. I'm on greedy. How the fuck does wait? Is lower better for defensive rating?
No, I think it's higher.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. Okay, I'm going on 8. Hold on. Anthony
Davis' defensive rating was. Oh, that's in his career. Okay.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta get his basketball reference.
Defensive rating this year was 109.2, and Wembanyama was 105.8. So four ratings better.
Yeah, but who's the better defensive player? If you have a higher defensive rating, you're a better defensive player throughout the year.
Yes, I know, but you have to put in defensive. No,
Like
Wembanyama should have won.
Anthony Davis
Anybody agrees? You're only saying this because you're a fucking Lakers fan.
No.
Yes.
Like Anthony Davis said, the NBA is never going to allow him to win the award. He has been best defensive player 2020.
Okay, can we just agree on one thing? Okay, Rudy Gobert shouldn't have won.
Yes, we agree on that.
There we go. That's all we need to say.
Anthony Davis should have won. That's all.
Victor Wembanyama should have won.
No.
Okay, and let's move on to 6 man. Malik Monk should have won over Naz Reid.
You want to talk about the biggest robbery? Most improved player?
Dude. I don't even want to fucking
How
say
the fuck did Kobe White not win most improved player?
You know what's stupid? So Tyrese Maxey is the only player in NBA history to win most improved player after averaging 20 points in the last season.
Yep.
His points per game only went up by like 4 points. Kobe White's went up by like 10, 12. How does Kobe White not win? It's so stupid. The NBA was whack with their awards this year. I think this was one of the worst awards this year by far. Lots of players that won shouldn't have won. Even the voting was weird. Like Domantas Sabonis got a fucking vote for defensive player of the year for rebounding. Like, bro, come on.
Hey, Suvi. Before we get started on our next segment,
I'll take it.
You're so back. You're so back.
No.
All right. Well, on to
Eric Salburn has more points this game than I think his last two. So
he heard your complaints.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, what about baseball, BT?
My Chicago Cubs are 22-16. We lost the series against San Diego. Okay, so we lost this. I don't even want to talk about it. We swept the Astros. Get out the brooms. Fuck the cheaters.
Yeah, fuck the cheaters.
We lost the series against the Astros. I mean, no, the Red Sox. I don't want to talk about the Saturday, April 27th game. I really don't.
Yeah, what, April 27th? What was that? Oh my god!
We tied the series against New York, which tough place to play. We
Mhm.
won the series against Milwaukee, which gave us the lead in the NL Central. We then lost to San Diego 2-1. We're down to 22-16. We're still first in the NL Central.
No, you're second.
This says we're first right here, buddy.
Look at the standings for MLB.
Hold on. How the fuck?
It's because you guys have played one more game.
Not that it matters. We're still first.
I mean, not technicality. Let's go to the Dodgers now, huh? Let's go to the Dodgers.
Well, I
BT.
have to go with my future series.
Oh yeah.
We played Pittsburgh. Shout out Paul Skenes, Livy Dunn's boyfriend, getting this start against the Cubs. I think we should win the series against Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's playing good baseball though.
And then we played the Braves, and the Braves are really good, so I think we're lose to the Braves.
Yeah,
The Braves are my pick to win the MLB championship.
The Braves are playing good baseball. BT, how about you go to the Dodgers? How about you go look at the Dodgers schedule and look at their latest
Doesn't matter.
schedule.
The Braves are better.
Let's talk about this.
Wow, you beat the fucking Marlins. Jesus Christ.
How about that? How
Marlins.
about that fucking Atlanta series though?
Wow.
Yeah,
You beat them at home.
it don't fucking matter. I went
And
to win
Stuvie-
against
Stuvie,
the
you-
toughest team.
Do the Dodgers win when it matters?
No,
Or do they win in the regular season?
we were gonna. How would you fucking let me talk about my team? All right, we're on a 7-game winning streak. Okay, sure we've played the Diamondbacks and Marlins, who are bad teams, but the Braves are the Braves aren't even first in their division. BT,
They aren't.
no,
So casual.
the Phillies are. They're 26-12.
Yeah, but the Phillies are good.
Yeah, because of Bryce Harper, but
Bryce Harper can
no,
still
we're
play.
playing amazing baseball right now. We can keep it up. I think we can easily win this next series, and then the series after that, and then the series after that, and then the series after that. But I mean, we're playing amazing baseball. Hitting's doing great. Ohtani is probably MVP this year. Yeah,
Well,
we're
you
just
went-
playing amazing baseball.
Or you both to win when it matters.
No. But you know what? You know what's funny about all this, ladies and gentlemen? We'll do all of this, right? Just to lose in the first round.
It's okay. We won't be talking about it. We'll be talking about football in the podcast.
Facts. We'll be talking about the MLB playoffs, but we'll just be like, hey, at least I'll be able to cope with football.
Yeah, at
Stuff
least
like
Iowa
that.
State. At least Iowa State's having a good year.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we should
And
win our
at that point, we'll be starting to preview college basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think we should win our next 2 series. I think that's very realistic.
All right.
So yeah.
Whose turn of trivia is it? I forgot to ask you.
You're supposed to ask me questions.
All right. Well, I'll just. Oh shit! I don't remember the years that have been used. We should have wrote this down. The years that have been used.
Who cares?
I care, Stu.
Who cares? Who cares?
So one pre-2000,
Yep.
and we started out with the NHL, right?
No, we start with the MLB.
I thought we we do the NHL and then the MLB.
No, I have it right here on the
Oh, okay,
podcast.
MLB.
MLB, NFL, NBA, college basketball, college football.
This is a risky one, but shit.
NFL, NBA. Who's winning?
year.
You're winning 6-3, right?
Yeah. This year there was no MLB champion. The MLB was on strike, and there was no MLB champion. Canceled the season.
What?
Let's see if you know
What?
your baseball knowledge.
What? First, you have to say this is pre-2000
This
or
is
post.
pre-2000.
Oh.
The MLB was on strike. There was no MLB champion this year.
Hmm. Dude, what? I know they went on a strike. I just can't remember the fucking year they did.
You know,
I want to
NFL.
say it was in like the 90s, but I'm not fucking sure. I don't know. Bro, what?
Just guessing here, buddy.
I'm gonna go 90.
Eh.
I don't fucking know.
Your Super Bowl champion.
Higher or
it out?
lower, by the way.
Oh, higher. Your Super Bowl champion was the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, Dallas was 70s. I don't think they won. 76. I'm gonna go 1976.
Wrong. You guessed lower when I told you higher.
Wait, what?
I told you higher than 1990. Higher. Like the we take what we can get. So, okay. Hold on, let me get the NBA champion.
Dude, what?
Your NBA champion was the Houston Rockets.
I'm just gonna fucking guess. 1994.
You're right. You got your 2 points.
Dude, I fucking said Dallas Cowboys 1976.
So that will move you up to
5.
No, it's 9-8.
Hmm.
Well, no, it was 9-6 before. 98 now. Hold on, I gotta get the post 2000 year. Hold on, let me get the list of MLB.
So I was right then. It wasn't the 1990s when the strike was. I was just stupid. I must have not been paying attention. Bro, what the fuck? 1976? Didn't the Steelers win in 1976?
I don't know, Suv.
2. What? I'm casual.
Okay, so this is the year after we're born, right?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
So
Okay. So your
Can I check my
MLB
phone
team.
real quick?
What?
Just to see the Pacers score.
Yes. I'm not gonna tell you anything else. Who's winning?
39-38. Knicks are winning.
Okay. Ready?
Hmm?
The San Francisco Giants.
Bruh. Oh boy. I remember them being good. But they won like a couple. Bruh. I'm gonna go to the first one that came to my head, 2014.
Lower.
All right, what's my next one? Didn't they win like a shit ton in the 2010s though?
Can't tell you that.
Bruh.
Might not have been the 2010s.
No, I think
it
it
might have
definitely
been.
was because the Yankees run the 2000s.
The rest of years the Yankees didn't run the 2000s. Your Super Bowl champions were the New York Football Giants.
2012.
Yep, there you go. 3 points.
Was that right though? Did the Giants win like a lot in 2000?
They won 2010, 2012, 2014.
Because in 2014 they beat the Royals, right? They
Yeah,
fucking dicked on them.
I
So
could
I
have
have,
said. Would you have gotten it if I said the New Orleans Saints? So
yeah.
there was no way I could have even got by you
I mean,
there. Either way.
2012, like the NFL rigged that year for the Saints to win.
2012?
Yeah.
I mean 2010.
What?
2012, the Giants won.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no. I mean, wait, what? When was
Well,
Hurricane Katrina?
it was like 2005, dude.
Oh, wait, who won? What was your next one you were gonna say?
So after 2012,
Yeah.
well, let's see. The 2012 NBA champion was the Miami Heat,
Yes, I probably would have.
and
So I'm at
then the
9.
2000. I was hoping I was gonna get you all the way to the college football and say Alabama, and then you would have been fucked.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have because
So Stewie, you're leading now.
9-8.
No, 9-11.
No.
Sorry, guys. Sorry if that offends some of you. Stewie decided to guess it right. Kind of fucked up on his end, but and there you go. So that will end our really long.
It's been a long one today, huh?
Well, we had to make up for not being there last week.
It's facts, but I mean, it was a good podcast. We had lots to talk about.
And
It's
we'll
one of our
be back.
longer ones in recent memory. What's our longest one?
I don't even fucking know.
Hour 50 right
Okay,
now.
that's fair. Hour 50. We're not gonna make it that far. But thank you guys for listening.
Not right now. Hour 51 is our longest, by the way.
So we
next week I'll be coming from Council Bluffs, Iowa. Believe it or not, I'll be back home for the summer.
We survived the storm. Looks like the storm just missed Council Bluffs today. As
That's
you
good.
can tell, I'm
more-
sweating in my own house because it's so fucking hot. where
No
I'm at.
more tornadoes for now.
Don't say that, Sue. Don't say that. You're gonna come home and
But yeah, we'll have a. What are we going to talk about? We got our college football preview
yes, we
next
have college
week.
football, and we might know the Western Conference. We might know the conference finals for the NBA. At that point, we might. Well, no. When are they?
What did you say?
Wait. When?
Yep, we might.
When are they
Pistons are in the
revealing the
sixth
NFL
round, by the way.
schedule?
12th, May 12th. I'm pretty sure.
So we will know the
Monday.
NFL schedule. We will know the NFL schedule.
Yep.
That will be.
Draft lottery is also next week too.
Yeah, so we'll have the draft. We can run some simulations. Well, I mean, basically, we'll be able to start NFL predictions.
We also have our NBA mock draft next week too.
Motherfucker. And we're gonna start NFL projections next week.
Yep.
I don't know how we're gonna have to do like 2 teams. We might just do a division. But
yeah, we can do a division.
Divisional.
Yeah, we have a jam-packed episode next week. It's been a jam-packed episode this week, so we want to thank y'all.
We're finding content.
Yeah, we're finding content.
And wait, never mind. Never mind.
Hey, you know what? We'll be able to talk about Olympic basketball too this summer.
How the U.S. is gonna shit on every other fucking country that ever exists.
You think? You think?
Sorry, guys. But thank you guys for watching episode 32. We will see you next week with episode 33. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube end. Let us know you're enjoying the content. Any recommendations can go in the comments below.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're listening to us on podcast version, which we are doing a really good job updating, make sure you rate us 5 stars. I see we have like 4 5-star ratings on Spotify.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all for reviewing us.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see you next week. As long as there's no like super breaking news.
Yeah. We're still trying to figure out what kind of YouTube videos stuff we can do.
Yes. So that might start this summer for a college football game from my end.
Yeah. Might do some College World Series vlogs.
Oh God.
Since we forgot a fucking vlog the March Madness.
Sorry, Stewie was just too nervous.
I was.
So you're shitting his fans. Oh, we're gonna get upset. Oh, we're gonna get upset. We're shitting on him.
Yep. It was a great atmosphere.
Shut up,
y'all would have seen me almost, got into it with Illinois fans. So
I would have started just filming it. Stevie, say something to him for the vlog. All right,
shit.
but we're gonna end this here instead of rambling.
Fuck Illinois, by the way. Yep.
Yeah, fucking Illinois. All right. We will
We
talk to y'all
appreciate
next
y'all.
week. We appreciate y'all, and we will see you next week.